Shema Yasha Yahweh Allah Haganawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yasha Yahweh Allah Haganawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yasha Yahweh Allah Haganawa Yahweh Achad Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahashara Kahakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. As a high spirit winning lawyer. Elevate your battlegrounds. All right. There's an analogy with the eagle and the serpent. And basically, the analogy is rooted in the fact that when an eagle fights a snake in the wild, the eagle does not fight the snake on the ground. All right. The eagle fights the snake in the sky. The eagle grabs the snake. The eagle grabs the snake by its claws. Hey, Shalom Elder. The eagle grabs the snake by its claws, takes it high in the sky. All right. It takes it high in the sky, and that's where it does its fighting. Then it eventually drops the snake from mid-air. Okay, you can look it up. But an analogy was taken from that in terms of your battle with Satan. All right, when you battle Satan, all right, you don't battle him in his fighting ground. What is Satan's battleground? All right, what is his territory? It's your flesh. It's your lower nature. A lot of the things that we fight or we battle or that we struggle with is pertaining to our lower nature. But what I've learned as a man is that you don't fight your nature. You don't fight your flesh. You don't fight your demons with you. You can't beat your flesh. You can't beat you. You see? You can't beat Satan in his territory, which is your flesh, which is your lower nature. All right. All right. Whether it's lust, whether it's addictions, whether it's ego, you can't beat him in your lower nature. All right. You have to, just like the eagle, ascend into the skies. How do you ascend to the sky where the Satan has no fucking leverage? All right, by fasting and praying. Because fasting, you starve out the enemy. You starve out the flesh. All right. When you go on these cleanses, these fruit cleanses and these fruit and vegetable cleanses, all right, well, you deprive your flesh of certain pleasures. All right, you're spiritually speaking, you are ascending into a higher battleground, a battleground in which your flesh has little leverage. Okay, and things that you struggle with before the fast or the cleanse, all right, you no longer struggle, all right, or you might not struggle as much because you've ascended into a higher battleground in which your flesh has no leverage. All right, and if your flesh has no leverage, Satan has no leverage because Satan exists within your flesh. Okay, it's just like that snake, man. You took it. You're the eagle that took that snake to the sky, man. What can a snake do when you grabbing it by your claws and you're hundreds of feet in the air? A snake can't do a motherfucking thing. He don't have any arms. He don't have any feet. And what I've learned in this truth, if a bird or an eagle was to battle a snake on the ground, the snake will most likely win, or he'll have a good advantage over the eagle. I'll say that. But sometimes you can forget that you have wings. When you pray, that's ascending. When you fast, that's ascending. That's flapping your wings and getting off the grounds of your flesh. Okay? We're spirits in these bodies. We're not our bodies. Satan wants you to think you are your body. You are your impulses. You are your drives. You are your desires. No. That's the devices of this earth suit that we've been put into, also known as these chains of darkness. All right, that's why it's darkness, or it's chains. All right, it's totally estranged, all right, of Yahweh Bahashim Hawashai. That's why the Apostle Paul said, I delight after the Most High, after the inward man. Talking about him, his spirit. All right. And Apostle Paul, all right, reiterated that in the book of Romans, the 7th chapter, which is a very powerful chapter. I delight after the law of Yahweh, after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of Yahweh, warring against the law of my mind. Because we're not our bodies, we're angels in bodies. We're angels in bodies, and the angels, we're engineered and created to please Yahweh Bahashim outside. But these earth suits, these earthen houses are created to be contrary to Yahweh Bahashim outside. That's why we live in a godless nation. And we live in godless times, all right? Because people, they don't control their nature or their flesh for Yahweh Bahashim outside. They don't submit themselves for Yahweh Bahashim outside. 2/3 of our people don't submit their nature to Yahweh Bahashim outside. Okay, that's what it means to be a disciple, all right? A disciple, he basically denounces his way and follows his master, or he's following the preachings of his master. But it comes with discipline. The disciple is rooted back in being having discipline, right? Discipline over what? Your flesh. All right? And that's the battle of a man of Yahweh Bashim outside. And we have ups and downs. You don't win every battle. But you have to understand the art of war. You don't fight the enemy in his territory. And best believe our flesh is the enemy's territory. Is Esau's territory? Is his spiritual counterpart Satan's territory? Because in Esau's kingdom, in his hell house, all right, how does he attack the elect? Through their flesh. All right? He keeps you in a state of sin. He's always marketing you bacon. He's always marketing you adultery. He's always marketing you murder. He's always marketing to you covetousness. All right? This man is keeping the 12 tribes of Israel in their lower nature. He markets you idolatry, all right, through Christianity, all right, through woman worship, all right? But he knows these things are against our power, all right? Because he has a formula to keep the 12 tribes in slavery. And his formula is transgression. Create a culture where they think it's cool to transgress. All right, but the way you transcend this nigga Esau Edom, the way you transcend this man and the way you have victory over this man is that you return back to Yahweh Bashim outside. And the reality of that is you submit to the laws of Yahweh Bashim outside. Obedience is an attack on the enemy. When you denounce the way, as it says in the scriptures, be not conformed to this world, man. But because when you get into the spirit, you cut off your flesh, you crucify your flesh, you make way for the spiritual man, the new creature. But every time you pour into the new creature, all right, you disappoint the wicked. Because Esau, he's catering to the old man in you, the old creature. Okay, but when you are in the spirit, it's as though you've elevated from the mundane. You've elevated from the natural world, man. And you realize that everything in this world is just something that's of the earth. Is everything in the material world is of the earth. And Yahweh said, ye are from beneath, I am from above. And it also says in the scriptures that our conversation is in heaven. All right, is in the kingdom, the talks of the kingdom. Because the worries of this life and the attention you put into this life is temporal, bro. And not only is it's temporal, it's just mundane, it's just of the earth. Once again, when you transcend to a higher realm within your mind, you become aware that everything in this world is just of the world, is of the earth. It's really Satan's battleground. All right? It's really Satan's battleground. And that's point blank period, man. You beat Satan, which is the serpent, spiritually. He's a serpent. You beat him by taking him out his element. All right, you beat Satan by using your spiritual wings and flying out of his battleground, which is the flesh. And you do that through fasting, praying, also being occupied in the word, linking up with brothers. Yeah. You're pouring into the spirit now, man. A lot of bad habits we have, a lot of things we struggle with, a lot of addictions that brothers struggle with, a lot of weaknesses that brothers struggle with, a lot of concerns that brothers struggle with, is because they're in the flesh. They might be in the truth, but they haven't fasted in a while. They haven't gone on a cleanse or detox in a while, or they've never done it. So they're struggling with things because they're trying to battle Satan in his own playground, in his own battleground. You have to transcend. You have to use your wings and fly out of your flesh. That's through fasting, cleansing, praying. All right. It's like if you take a leech, a big snail. All right. If you pour salt on a snail, he loses. If you take a fish out of water, he loses. A shark can't chase you if it lands on the beach. He got to get back in the water to be in his element and to be a predator to you. A predator to you. If a shark somehow swims too far to the shore and ends up on the sand of the beach, he's no longer a predator. He's a victim. You see? So you have to take Satan out of his element. Take Satan out of his element, and you have to get out of his element. Get out of Satan's element, and you transcend to higher realms. All right, through fasting and praying. And that strength that amplifies that spiritual man in you. It amplifies the strength of that angelic force that lives within you. All right. Are we perfect? No. Do we lose battles? Yes. But it'll behoove you. We create systems. It'll behoove you to create systems that keep you in that angelic realm. All right. So you have to be careful not to feed our flesh too much. Too much. You're gonna feed your flesh a little bit. I mean, you literally gotta eat. But Esau was really attacking us through the food, because through the food he has chemicals in the food. And the chemicals are mind altering, and they're deleterious to your health. All right. But also those chemicals keep you in a fleshly, primitive mindset. So when you go on certain detoxes, it allows your body to detox that stuff out of you, detox those chemicals out of you. Okay. But the point is, once again, you have to fly outside of Satan's element. You have to transcend beyond your flesh. Like I said, when you cleanse, you fast, you pray, you're transcending beyond the flesh, and you're strengthening that angelic force that's within inside of you, man. All right. So certain things is really hard for you to stop, and certain habits is really hard for us because we're in Satan's element. But like I said, certain things require you to fast and pray and go on these detoxes, and what you'll realize is that those addictions are no longer really addictions. It's easier to curb certain appetites, you see? And it'll behoove brothers to cleanse frequently, and you could determine the intervals, all right, between your fasting periods or your cleansing periods. But it'll behoove you to cleanse frequently, like it'll behoove you to change your oil frequently in the car. All right, it'll behoove you to cleanse frequently for your own physical health and your own spiritual health, man. See, the power is doing something when you don't have to do it. We don't have to go on a detox now. We don't have to go on a cleanse. We don't have to intermittent fast. But in a time of Jacob's trouble, there's no telling how it's going to be before the mercy kicks in, man. You might be eating one meal a day. You might be eating once every other day. You don't know how it's going to play out before the mercy kicks in, or just you don't know how it's going to play out during an hour of your temptation, man. You can't act like the pleasures of this life is dire. If I don't have certain short pleasures of this life, I'm just gonna fucking lose it. That's how you know we don't. There's no food cravings in the wild. We're not eating food. We're addicted to food like substance. When you're eating toxic chemicals that they call food, it creates cravings within you. And the way you know it's really a drug or it's a food like substance, all right, is because you don't crave apples and oranges and grapes. You don't crave lettuce and tomatoes. All right, you crave the stuff that they sell you, man. But you had this mindset: if I don't partake in this or if I cut it off temporarily, something you know, like nah, man. All right, we got a lot to unplug from here in Babylon, here in the Matrix, man. You know, it's beyond just doing the works, man. We got to make sure that the man behind the camera, the man when the camera turns off, that we're maintaining that man, not the brother that everybody sees, but the brother that nobody sees. When nobody sees you, you have to make sure you're spiritually maintaining yourself. You know, but hey, we fly outside of Satan's battleground. That's how we win that fucking battle. We're not living in the flesh. We're living in the spirit. Now you do have to. Hey, the scripture say do good to yourself. The scripture says, you know, this basically a man is temperate in all things. A man who contends in his truth. He's temperate. It means he's balanced. So you have to know when to embrace the flesh and when to refrain from embracing the flesh. And one thing I've observed in this society is that there's no fucking downtime. In Esau society, there's no fucking downtime. All right, meaning you're always putting food in your mouth. You never go on a cleanse as a culture. You never go on a detox. You never go on a fast. You never stop having sex. You never stop working your job. A lot of us don't have a 7-day vacation, a 2-week vacation. You're working all year. You're eating all year. You're having sex all year. Look what you're doing to your flesh. And after a certain period of time, you're worn the fuck down, man. You're stressing all year. You're frustrated all year. A whole year, and you never missed a day eating. And the Day of Atonement is saving brothers, man. All right? A whole year, and you never went a week without having sex? 2 weeks without having sex? You know? If you have a woman, it's understandable. But even she has a week without supposedly having sex because of her monthly. So what does that tell you? She has a 7-day fucking reset. So you could maybe, just throwing out a suggestion, maybe you could use one of those days out of the 7 every now and then to go on a cleanse, go on a detox. And you'll realize that you had to slow down to speed up. This tree right here, if I had an axe and I chopped down this tree, then I chopped down that tree, and I chopped down that tree, eventually the axe becomes dull. So you actually have to stop using a knife or the axe to sharpen a knife. Then you can go back to chopping down your trees. And you realize that you have to slow down and speed up in this society. You have to have downtime. You have to reset. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. All right? Just think about it. In this society, you never stop. Once again, you never stop working. A lot of us work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. You never stop working. You never stop eating. You never stop having sex. And it's all happening in the same body. You got the same body doing all these things. And when the scripture says do good to yourself, that doesn't mean just treat yourself with some bullshit. It means do good to yourself. Taking a break is doing good to yourself, man. Taking a day off and relaxing, that's doing good to yourself. All right? Eating food, making an effort to buy organic food, that's doing good to yourself, man. Saying no to certain pleasures, that's doing good to yourself, man. We're old enough to know what certain things do to us. You know? Saying no for a greater benefit, that's doing good to yourself, man. You know? Shalom, brothers and sisters who have been tuning in to this live stream. All right, shalom. All right? But hey, Satan wants us in the flesh, because when we're in the flesh, he is over with. He's doing all type of MMA moves on us, and we don't even realize it sometimes, man. But the way he loses leverage by you transcending into the spirit, man, through fasting, cleansing, praying, all right, doing the works, reading, watching videos, that's transcending in the spirit. Hey, but with that, to the next time, hope you were edified. Shalom.